Test. We are starting in 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Angie, and welcome back to Terrormedia.
Hello. Welcome back to those of you who listen to our show.
You have all the charisma. Well, maybe I'll develop charisma. Maybe. We'll see.
I take a lot of orange juice in the morning. It takes time, okay? It takes time. I'm Daniel, by the way. Thank you for tuning back into Terrormedia. Mm-hmm. Today's episode is number 3, the lucky number 3, or possibly unlucky number 3, but we're going to go with lucky number 3. Today, we'll be
reviewing the new-ish movie of Umma.
More like Booma. Sorry.
Good night. Even though your reaction is a little bit, on par with what I'm thinking, but, we'll get into that. If you guys didn't know, this is a new horror film. I think Sandra Oh's first horror film. In case you didn't know, Sandra Oh is the star of this movie. We love her in this household.
It just might be her last. Unless she's going to do it with... If she does it with Sam Raimi again, it's definitely her last.
Oh. Sam Raimi is... We love him. We love Spider-Man. But every time he tries to tango with horror, it doesn't end up well. I mean, Drag Me to Hell, 2008 or 9?
It should have been left in that timeline.
No. Yeah. His horror is not his genre. I think action, definitely. He's an icon. But horror, maybe he could learn a thing or two from one of the most famous horror icons. Maybe James Wan can teach him something about horror. So, without further ado, and without, any more Sam Raimi slander, let's get into initial thoughts. What did you first think, going back and thinking about the movie? I
honestly, from the bottom of my shits, aka my heart, I thought the movie was lackluster and very disappointing. Mm-hmm. Now, just to be clear, we saw the movie together, so that was the plus. Went to the city. That was great. However, there was an attempt at doing something good, but it should have been left to somebody who directs horror. Mm-hmm. Mr. Raimi, I swear to God, if you fuck up Multiverse of Madness, I will never forgive you.
That's going to be hard to fuck up, but, it looks pretty good. And that's, it's on par with what he usually does. But Umma, I don't know.
Umma, man, this movie, Umma bad. Umma bad. Not, I could give it a good rating, but, my bad. That's not going to happen.
Listen here with the dad jokes. No more dad jokes from here on in.
It's not going to happen. I mean, there was very little direction. And very little, personally, I felt like the movie was uninspiring,
Oh, well, it's really deep.
Yeah, I mean, I personally did not watch any trailers for this movie because I didn't want to spoil the hype. You pitched it to me as this horror movie with Sandra Oh, who, as you mentioned before, we do love. Killing Eve, final season. If I don't get my lesbian moment, I'm just saying,
shameless
guys.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Well, I mean, not for us, but for them.
Oh, I thought you wanted a shameless plug. www.icam-photos 15% off. For this movie, we're going to give it 6% off, but I'll tell you why later. But 15% off your next order today. Okay? Still booking. Actually, booking up for June now. So thank you to the 11 people who listened to the last episode. And the person who commented as well. Thank you. But
thank you for arguing with me, even though I'm a human and I made mistakes, all right?
Yeah, man. Relax. Come on, dude. Come on, man. You got to do something better. We're probably going to cut that out.
What do you mean? I can argue with people I want.
Fair enough. All right. You know what? Fair enough. All right. Sorry. I don't even remember the name, but sorry. You got argued with.
I'm not coming at him rude anyway.
Yeah,
He came at me rude talking about fake fan. Like, the thing is, like, how many times I watched Scream 1 compared to the other 3? Well, 4 now. Like, Scream 1 I've watched more than Scream 2, 3, 4, and now Scream 2022. But anyway, back to initial thoughts on Umma.
We can get into the Scream rant later for sure.
We can do that in a separate episode because
we're coming for you, Osmosis Jones. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, Nick.
No.
So yeah, sorry. I thought the movie was just too straightforward. And most of the people who watch movies are going to be like, what do you mean too straightforward? A movie should be simple. Yes, it is true. A movie should be easy to understand and easy to follow. But this movie feels like at the peak of its content, the peak of the production, the peak of the story, we cut it. Mm-hmm. And we go straight to credits. This is not a Marvel movie. There's no part 2 coming out to what we know of. So it doesn't hit the mark for me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't deliver at all on the potential from the trailers. It doesn't deliver at all on the potential from the movie as you're watching it. I just don't like it. You know, I think there's room for a sequel, potentially a prequel with the ending, but that's probably the only positive that comes from this movie. And this is a real harsh review, but yeah, man, I can't see how this movie gets back into theaters ever again. I mean, this might be the curse of Raimi. The C-O-R, the core, or the cur.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm sure Sam Raimi's not going to stop trying to make horror films because you could always try again. Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm, but don't think about Spider-Man 3. Sorry, Zach.
Oh, man. Oof.
Oof.
Yeah, trigger a lot of Spider-Man fans with that one, but...
Hey, I'm a Spider-Man fan too, so I can say that.
Well, we'll see if Umma even gets a prequel, but my initial thoughts are like, for something that's supposed to be a horror movie, right? And they kind of like advertised this as a paranormal film. There were like almost no jump scares. I can count maybe 2, but then there were, you know, predictable jump scares at that, you know? So there's that. The origin, like the backstory between Amanda, which is the main character, and Umma, her mom, is very bland. I feel like just one little flashback, right? That's barely a flashback. It's kind of like a cut, you know, is not enough, you know. We know the physical trauma that was caused, but not like, which obviously links to emotional trauma. But I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of that, you know. I did like the inclusion of the Korean traditions, though, you know. Obviously, I don't fully understand them, you know, to that extent. But I think their culture is beautiful from like afar, from like a outsider's perspective. Mm-hmm. And it was nice that they tried to tie that into this movie. I love Sandra Oh's performance. I think she's such a good actress.
And she's beautiful.
And she's beautiful.
But you're way hotter, trust me. Sorry.
Stop it. But her performance is pretty spot on. And to my knowledge, this is her first time playing an on-screen mom. Mm-hmm. And I think she did a really good job of that. And I don't know. I usually like her performance, you know. I thought she was the best actor and had the best character on Grey's Anatomy, so, you know.
I've never watched that show, so I can't comment fully.
Yeah.
However, I've heard it's good.
Funnily enough, I've never watched the full show from, like, season 1. I think they're on, like, season 14 now.
Oh, my God. It's as old as my cat.
Yeah, like, I've never watched the whole thing through and through, but when my mom watches it, and I see her scenes, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Wait, so she's still in the show at this season?
No. She left. She left in like season 8 or something like that. She left a long time ago.
Sandra said, fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Well, she became a mega star on her own without the show, so.
At Killing Eve. It's finishing, guys. If you watch Killing Eve, in the comments below, Villanelle or Eve? Oh. Okay, pick a side. Okay? Kenny? I can't tell you, but who done did it to Kenny?
I mean, they kind of confirm... No, they didn't, because Constance... Anyway, stop throwing me off. Another thing was the relationships. You know, I'm a big relationships person. Like, one thing I hate about what some movies do is, like, when they'll say, like, oh, yeah, they're brother and sister, or they're father and son, or father and daughter. And they don't act like it. They barely interact, and they barely have scenes and lines together.
At Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know what you did.
Yeah, like, but this movie, even with, like, other characters, like, there's only really 4 characters in this movie. 5 if you include the ghost.
Yeah, if you include, I think 6, actually. Because there was Amanda, which was Sandra. Mm-hmm. Or Sandra.
Chris.
For yous out there who say San instead of San. Chris. There was
the older man, their friend.
Yeah, the homeboy who did all the money. There was River.
His niece River.
And
then Umma.
And Umma bitch ass.
And then you can't even count the uncle. The uncle was there for all of 5 minutes to drop off the ashes and then left.
The uncle was more of a side. Yeah, he was more like an extra.
Even though you could tell the family ties between her and her Korean family were strained, you know?
Yeah, they were definitely strained.
But, you know, even with the characters that were not family, there was clear relationships, you know, and I like that, you know? So those were my initial thoughts on the movie. So now, I guess we can talk about maybe our favorite scenes, even though it was going to be hard to pick a favorite scene because the movie was, first of all, it's not that long. It's pretty short.
Yeah, I think the full runtime of the movie is 83 minutes when I checked, so that buffs out to about an hour, a little less than an hour and a half.
Yeah, so it's a pretty short movie. And I don't know if that had to do with, like, the director's call or if that was the studio's call. Like, I don't know why that is. I feel like there could have been a lot more room for more, you know?
Yeah.
But it was a little bit hard to pick out a favorite scene. But I would have to say my favorite scene was the argument between Amanda and Chris in the field where, you know, Amanda was telling her what it was. Like, you know, everything that, you know, Amanda had done to piss her off, and then they slap each other.
Amanda got the shit smacked out of her.
So did Chris.
Krill got the shit smacked out of her, but Amanda, she got her shit rocked.
Yeah.
And I tell you, when we saw that scene in the movie, the 10 people who were in there with us opening night were like, oh shit. And rightfully so, because, you know, we see the daughter's name was Chris, right? Mm-hmm. So we see Chris being this very obedient, go with the flow type of character to Amanda. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you wouldn't expect something like that to happen between the two of them. But when it did, it was all the more shocking. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, shit. That, like, in wrestling, that's a heel turn right there. That's a heel turn and a half.
Especially, you know, with me. Like, if I would have done that to my mom, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. For us Hispanic folk out there, I mean, yeah, especially Hispanic folk. You slap your mama like that, your mama putting you in the ground. And it ain't gonna be good. Yeah, no, it's not good. I mean, shout out to Chris for, like, really letting, I guess, her Umma have it. I mean, that's what Umma bitch ass needed. Like, Umma?
Yeah, she needed a slap.
She needed a slap, but she might have fucking weaved it.
She weave?
She would have weaved that shit like, yeet!
No, but, like, no, seriously, I watched that and I was like, I could never be in the ground. The field that they were fighting in, the field I would end up in.
Yeah. I would have to go there and visit you and be like, here lies baby girl. R.I.P. gone too soon. And the minute I say that, your mom would teleport and spawn in front of me and smack me for even thinking anything otherwise.
Yeah.
And then I'd be in the ground right next to you. Oddly romantic. But I digress.
I did like that scene. I thought it was very intense. I thought it was, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
So what was yours?
I would have to say there's two scenes. And the first of which is when Krill, aka Chris, goes into the attic, and there's like a mild possession scene that goes on, and Umma kind of reveals herself to Chris, and she gets the shit scared out of her. I thought that was cool because I liked the build up to it. I also liked the dialogue scene between Umma and Amanda at the end because there was a lot of emotion involved in it. Mm-hmm. You know, so we have like this hero's journey kind of where Amanda has to confront her mother and pretty much tell her like, listen, Ma, it's my life, it's my choice, my body, my choice. And there's nothing that Umma can do or say about it because Amanda is putting her in a scenario where it's like, you have to listen to me. Like, there's no other option for you anymore. I'm not allowing you back into my life. And that...
Especially since she's dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, she's dead. But that also follows where I believe Umma smacked her in the dome with a shovel. Amanda got her shit rocked a couple times in this movie.
She got her head smacked with a shovel?
She got her head hit with something. Or maybe she fell in a hole. Did she fall in a hole?
Yeah,
because she went down into something to communicate with Umma.
Yeah, I think that's when she fucking threw. No! Oh, her fucking Umma got mad that she threw her stuff in a hole and called it a day. She threw a bag over her head and told her, "You call that a burial?"
Yeah. There we go. So that's the pre-leading scene into that sequence. So
No, it's not.
yeah, no, then they took her into under. We're gonna have to watch that scene again.
No. Damn. Well, you know what? I can't be too harsh on you because you fell asleep during the movie.
Thanks for outing me.
But
I appreciate it. Well, I mean, you can't blame me because this movie was, it was
long.
It was sleepable.
But leading up to the talk between Amanda and Umma, what had happened was
I'm gonna let you have your moment.
Amanda got possessed by Umma, right? And she followed Chris into the field. She attacked Chris in the field. She told her, "Mommy, it's me." And, she broke free. And that's when she went underground. She wasn't hit with anything. She was just dragged underground, so to speak with Umma.
So you can drag me to hell. Sorry.
Yes.
Bring me the horizon. Yes. So that is that sequence. Thank you for telling me, since I did fall asleep.
Yes, you did.
Very sarcastically blinking for those of you who can't see this. That scene was good, and then just as Angie mentioned before, I did also like the smacketh down scene between Amanda and Krill at the end. This movie, if there's one topic that's very prominent in this movie, is this leaving your shell type of idea. Where so for Amanda, we have her leaving her shell of being stuck in Umma's presence. For Chris, Krill, it's the presence of being stuck in Amanda's ways and her ideas. And both are motivated from very different characters. So like Amanda's obviously motivated by Chris, but Chris is more motivated by River.
Yeah.
So there's very few moments in the movie where we see Chris saying, "Well, Mom, I want to go and live my own life."
Yeah.
And do what you did. It's more like, "Mom, I want to get the fuck away from you because you're possessive." Yeah. And I don't believe half the shit that's going on here.
And it's wild because, I was thinking about it and I was like, this little girl was raised by her mom her whole life. She only knew her mom, which is not a good thing, right? But she meets this girl, River, right? And she's just so, she's just so trusting of her. She's just automatically like, okay, yeah, you have a cell phone? Now I want a cell phone. You think I should go to college? I think I should go to college now too. It's like, kind of like, did she ever made a decision of her own type of thing? Because her whole thing of wanting the beehive and staying in the beehive with her mom, that was her mom's influence because she asked her to, sure. But they never left because of her mom. And now she's leaving really because someone persuaded her to.
And let's just backpedal just for one moment with the phone comment. So Amanda has this issue with electricity. But I'll let you explain that a little bit more here, since this is the point you're trying to make on Chris. I'll let you delve into Amanda's issue with electricity a little bit more.
Oh, well, Amanda was, her punishment usually for upsetting her mom was getting electrocuted with a wire from a lamp, and it'd be mostly done in her hands. So she was afraid of electricity, and she lied to her daughter and told her that she was allergic to electricity. Clearly the daughter did not have access to Google, so she cannot Google, can you be allergic to electricity? But, it's I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how I'd react if someone told me they were allergic to electricity.
I would probably have to laugh in their face. I mean, dude, if you're allergic to electricity, you can't do shit. You can't take the bus. If you're from the city, you can't drive your car. You can't take a shit in some places. You can't turn the lights on. I mean, I guess if you live out in the middle of Bubblefuck, it's okay. Yeah. If you live in the middle of Ithaca or Ithaca, it's fine. But if you live in the city or, a very populated area, you might as well just, dig a hole and lay there for a couple of years, see if it goes away. Maybe give your body some time to get over it.
Yeah.
But this notion that she was allergic to electricity was honestly believable for me. I was like, oh shit, that's really unfortunate, man.
That was believable to you?
Yeah, I believed it.
Are you serious?
Well, being that I was also once afraid of like thunderstorms.
Okay,
I can relate.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, wait, if someone told you they were allergic to electricity, you'd be like, oh, damn, that feels bad.
Oh, damn, man, me too. Hey, you want to take a picture real quick?
Nice job.
I guess you could say that really stings, right? So,
anyway, we'll move on to the next topic.
I'm just saying.
You know what Easter egg there was, like, or that I saw? I don't know if people can disagree with me, but I saw a Drag Me to Hell Easter egg.
So you can drag me to hell.
Like, you know, the scene where Amanda got dragged through the mud, essentially. That reminded me of the ending scene in Drag Me to Hell, but I could be wrong.
I think if there's any Easter eggs in this movie, that's probably the biggest one. Because obviously, for those of you who don't know, and I don't blame you because it's a shit movie, just like Umma.
Tragic.
You know, Drag Me to Hell was also directed by Mr. Sam Raimi. So there's a trend that he is not good at horror. I mean, again, you fuck up Multiverse of Madness, man. I'm gonna cry.
I think most people are gonna fucking cry.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Professor X, come on, dude.
Anyway.
But yeah, the Drag Me to Hell Easter egg was pretty apparent. There was a few like CGI effects that were also really bad in the movie on the topic of Drag Me to Hell, which also had god near horrendous CGI, but that was more of his time.
I don't know if that's his style for horror films because for my knowledge, he's only done 2. I don't know if that's his style, but like that little fox, nope, it was so bad. It looked like I was watching a really bad animated Pokemon movie. Like it was something, you know, and that was really the only CGI in the film. But yeah, no, it didn't hit the mark.
It missed the mark.
Yeah.
And many times. Speaking of marks, on top of the point that we have here with missing things, what it did not miss, and this is kind of a little bit of a tangent, what it did not miss was its opening weekend. It did make quite a bit of moolah. So it was projected to make between 500,000 to 1.5 million. And unfortunately, it fell in terms of finances. It fell in the middle. It fell between, I believe the number is 915,290. So it falls pretty much almost dead center in the middle of what they were expecting. But in terms of the mark that they wanted, it was only in the top 10 for one weekend.
I mean,
so the company that produced it was pretty disappointed, but you can't be surprised.
I'm not surprised because, like, I don't know, the marketing, I saw it all over Instagram, which is part of the reason why I wanted to see it. But it just, I don't know, it didn't really call out. I feel like it called out to me because I like these movies and I like Sandra Oh, and it looked different, you know, from the look of the trailers and teasers. But other than that, I was like, yeah.
If you want to support Sandra Oh on a project, BBC America, AMC, every Sunday for the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Killing Eve. Go watch it.
Watch Killing Eve. Watch Turning Red. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard amazing things about it. Please watch Turning Red. It looks so cute. I feel like it's going to be great for like your little kids. Watch Turning Red. Watch The Chair. That's something newish that came out on Netflix.
Is she a part of that as well?
She is the lead.
She's the lead.
Watch The Chair. Watch some of her other projects if you want to support her. If you want to watch Umma, go ahead, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I had no idea. So what's The Chair about? I mean, if we could just tangent really quick on that topic.
I think it's about her becoming like the chair of a school. I think it is.
Oh, so it's not horror.
It's not horror. No, it's I think it's just, I don't know what genre actually. It could be comedy.
We will update you on The Chair.
But
in future projects.
Definitely about, you know, it's very empowering for a woman, you know, because she's the chair of a school and she's a person of color. So, you know.
This is true. This is very true. So Sandra or Sandra is out there on a lot of projects right now. So definitely something that you can, as an audience member here and as a potential supporter, you can go out there and support Mrs. Sandra on her projects.
Yes.
What I will say about Miss Sandra Oh is that this movie had nothing, in my opinion, to do with her performance. No. Her performance in this movie was what it needed to be. It, however, unfortunately, was missing the mark and, a flop, in my opinion, because of the direction that the movie was, presented in. You
know what else I had a problem with in this movie?
Not the seats. The seats were good.
Well, that has to do with the theater, not the movie. But the possession scene was so short. They were leading up to this possession, right? Like, they showed throughout the movie her face was aging, and she did like little things, like, she yoinked on Chris's hair at some point by accident. She did a little like a sorry, type of thing. But I would have really liked it if they did more of a build up to that possession, and if the possession would have lasted. Like, there was a moment we saw that Umma had taken over, and then she started doing her tendencies for a longer period of time, because she did that she did the possession for all about 5 to 10 minutes, and that is not enough. So I would have liked if there was a build, like, we saw maybe Umma doing something that she used to do when Amanda was young, and then you see Amanda doing that same thing, and she gets like spooked. She's like, she throws down whatever she's doing. She's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that possession scene was in I believe the third half, or like the rising action point of the movie.
Yeah.
And it just felt that's one of the parts of the movie that, you'd expect, all right, this is where we're going to get our big scares. This is where we're going to get the big, like, oh shit, that's crazy. But no, it was bad. It was almost, hilarious to see how bogus this was, in its attempt to be horror. It's just I can't wrap my head around saying anything positive about the direction this movie took, and it's sad because, like, as you were saying before, we've built up this Umma character with this possession to be something really big. Towards the end, like, we're gonna get our payoff. She's gonna come and possess, a spoiler warning, by the way. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but at this point, if you're listening to it, you pretty much know the whole movie.
We'll just have to put in like the description and stuff. This is a spoiled,
spoiling fest.
Yeah, like, this review, it does not hold back on the spoilers, so we'll just put it in the description.
Sorry, we spoiled you. Sorry. Anyway.
What did I tell you about the dad jokes?
Well, the dad jokes is who I am.
No.
It's my character. No. It'll be your character pretty soon, too, okay?
No.
You can shake your head all you want, Miss Earrings.
Miss Earrings? That's the best you could come up with?
On audio, yes.
All right. Anyway.
Thanks.
Anything?
Anyway, as I was saying, the creative director on this project, the influencer. Speaking of which, minor little plug here. Terrormedia will be taking some new projects coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be interviewing some artists. So be on the lookout for those. We have 2 artists currently planned. So
supporting some local, artists, trying to uplift the community a little bit.
Trying to do our part as creatives. And I guess you can say entrepreneurs to an extent, because we are marketing ourselves as podcast people. Yes, we are.
As long as we're trying to be, so.
www.icam-photos 15%. Up today.
A question I had from the movie, by the way.
When can I book my next photo shoot? Yeah, easy.
You'd be lucky to get a photo shoot from Sandra Oh. Shit, I'd fucking pass out. But
listen, if Sandra Oh walked into my studio, I'd pretty much cancel everything else out for the rest of the year. Yeah, I'd be like, listen, you're just going to be... I probably shouldn't say I'm going to trap Sandra in my basement.
No, you kind of creep are you?
Well, listen, I wouldn't...
No, we heard enough from you. No. Anyway, the question I have for the movie, before you get any creepier, is, like...
I'm a pretty nice guy, okay?
Well, yeah, instead, I mean, You don't sound like a nice guy when you say I'm gonna trap someone in your basement.
Well,
no,
it was gonna be a fun basement.
I don't want to hear any more from you.
We all float down here.
No.
You'll float too.
No. I just wanted to know if Amanda's whole family was that old fashioned, was she outcasted when she left her mom? Like, what the hell happened there? And like, they didn't really talk much about her family besides her mom, her dad, and then a brief look at her uncle.
It's definitely possible. I don't know much about the culture. I believe it's presented on a Korean standpoint, right?
Yeah, it's a Korean film.
So I'm not sure about how Korean culture handles situations like this, and I'm not going to speculate because I don't want to, create any unnecessary stereotypes. But I will say that if there is going to be a prequel to this movie, I can see how they expand on perhaps the uncle's involvement and how he ended up in that situation, driving from wherever the hell he was to seeing Miss Amanda, which, by the way, he was driving a Chevy Malibu. Great choice, Uncle. Great choice.
I think he said he flew in from Korea and she was hell to find. Like, she had no social media. She had no digital footprint, which is why she was so hard to find. But I believe he said he flew in from Korea.
So that's a perfect way to segue to a sequel or a prequel that would explain, okay, Mr. Uncle, what the fuck are you doing here? And why'd you come from all the way over there to here? What is so urgent? Because we don't really understand. We're not really told. I believe Amanda's character just kind of brushes it off and tells him to leave.
No. She asks him, like, what are you doing here? What happened? He's like, oh, your mother passed. He tells her. There's a clear indication and there's a conversation that happens. So, but, I just a quick question that I had, it's like, I guess the whole family was like that and pretty much no one cared. Oriole's kicking herself in the face.
Hey! The hell are you doing? Pick a side! Sorry, guys. My cat is having a moment here. Should we do like play-by-play audio for Oriole? All right, let's UFC match. Here we go. She's lining it up. Oh, she's licking him.
No. All right.
She's licking him now. That's her finishing move.
No, ew, stop. All right.
She's been distracted. There's tits in the fans.
All right. Hey, baby.
Huh?
Co-host.
Sorry.
Over here. Let's move on to the final rating of the film.
Dun, dun, dun. Presenting the film rating. Registered by www.icam-photos. All right. So I believe, since this is your show, I am the lucky,
yes, sir,
and amazing co-host. I will let you go first on your rating experience.
Alrighty. So when it comes to Umma, I give it a 5.5.
A 5.5? Well, Miss Angie, you can't go and tell me why I give it a 5.5, not a 10.
Well, it's okay, fucking hillbilly Joe Bob.
Hey man, that's pretty stereotypical. If I can't do it, you can't do it either, right?
Well, I'll talk about some of the positive things. I liked the mask and the prosthetic that Umma wore throughout the film. I thought it was spooky. That probably was the spookiest thing about the whole film. Yes.
Hey, Miss Angie, I'm just curious. So, like, could you try to describe what this mask looked like to me?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the movie. I came here to listen to the podcast and take the review, so I'm just trying to figure it out.
So I think it was a white mask, it had no emotion in it. There was just structural mask,
Ooh.
So it was spooky. Imagine just hanging that up on the wall, a white mask with just eye holes cut into it.
That reminds me of the mask that we saw in that short film, The Guest. Ooh, that shit fucked me up.
Yeah, anyway, I like that movie.
We should review that shit. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing I liked about it.
R.I.P.
Oh no, I'm a liar. So I liked the topic of parental abuse and the aftermath of it, like how you abusing your kid can affect him or her in the future. Like there's a lot of movies that touch on it, but this one in particular, you know, they tried to do a paranormal spin on it. Didn't really succeed, but I liked that. And they really, them too, like they mentioned like the toxicity of some parents where it's like, well, I brought you into this world and I took care of you, so the least you could do is take care of me. It's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like that whole feeling of like, oh, you owe me. I made you. You owe me, you know? And that's not why you should have children, you know?
Right.
And Umma says this repeatedly, like, you know, you had to take care of me. You hurt me. And she clearly did not see where she hurt her child. So, you know, I liked that. You know, that those topics, I liked that they touched on them and they spoke about them briefly, albeit, but they spoke on them. There wasn't, like I said, there was no jump scares. It wasn't your run-of-the-mill paranormal film. I feel like it wasn't scary. There was no suspense. I was not on the edge of my seat. I wasn't gripping anyone's hand, like nothing. It was just, all right, okay. I liked the set.
Yeah, the set was, it was nicely, I mean, it was one of those movies that was a one location thing, you know?
Yeah.
It was very similar to that movie with Zendaya.
Oh, Malcolm and Marie,
where it was all located in one
house.
Building.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if the field was also like legitimately connected to this house in this building.
I don't know.
But it's something that, you know, eagle-eyed fans out there can take a look at.
Yeah. The ghost, Umma, was not as involved in the movie as she should have been. I feel like we did not see that ghost almost at all. We saw the ghost like maybe 3 times. And then that was it. I feel like I would have liked to see Umma a little bit more. There was no big turning point. Usually in like horror films, there's like a moment of relief and then you're like, okay, I'm good. And then it's like, oh shit, no, there's not. I know it's a cliche, but it would have given the movie something, you know, because this movie didn't really have much. And I feel like that turning point would have been like really good, you know?
For sure.
And Chris, for being a naive character, she has some fucking balls. Like, you literally are this clueless 18-year-old girl. You don't know shit. It was your mom's fault, sure. But this girl, River, runs into your life. You just met her, and you're slapping your mom because she exposed that she wasn't allergic to fucking electricity. It's like, damn. So you're telling me that you're like a fucking puppy to this girl you just met, but you slapping your mom.
Hey man, Chris wanted to ride in the river.
That's like, that was wild. And we already talked about this with the CGI. Whew. At least for that one scene, that one little fox, the 2-tailed fox. No, I was not very impressed by that. So that is me justifying the rating that I gave the movie. Again, like you said, nothing to do with Sandra Oh's performance, nothing to do with anyone's performance, really. I think everyone did their job. I think they did really well. I just wish the movie was longer. I wish the script was a little bit more descriptive. And I don't know. I think they could have gone with a different direction.
I want to agree with everything you say, first and foremost. If I can compare this movie to one thing that just came into my head, it would be all my dad jokes. Bad and unnecessary.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Although sometimes they can have some, you know, some importance, but majority of the time, no, unnecessary. Which leads me into my rating for the movie, which was originally a 6. Not gonna lie, on paper we have it as a 6, but in actuality, I'm gonna give it a 4 because I put everything together in my head. I'm listening to all the conversations we're having here, which, by the way, guys, thank you for listening. It was just a bad movie. You know, it's not as bad as Midnight Man, which we have discussed reviewing in a future episode.
Oh, we're going to talk about that movie.
You thought this movie was bad? We're going to have a negative scale for that movie.
I encourage you all to watch that movie so you can suffer the way we've suffered.
Yes, I believe it's on Amazon Prime. So go ahead, watch Midnight Man, and then watch Umma, and then decide which one is worse.
Was it Amazon Prime or was it Hulu?
No, it wasn't Amazon Prime. It was Hulu. Yeah, if it's still on Hulu.
I'm going to Google it real quick, and you can give everyone... Oh, nice job, computer. Give everyone your reasoning for that rating of Umma?
I give Umma a low rating for a lot of different reasons. I think the biggest reason is that the movie was boring. There was really no hook other than the fight and, you know, the interest between Chris and, you know, exploring the rest of the world. It was boring. The ending sequence feels like it was the middle of the movie and they cut the rest off because they couldn't afford the rest of it. I didn't like it. I enjoyed the experience of going to the movie theaters. I enjoyed the experience of sitting down and watching the movie. But I did not enjoy the movie at all. It's sad to say that I think the trailers that followed this movie, or, you know, were attached to this movie, were more of a pop for me than the actual movie itself. So, since you've gone ahead and you've broken down the technical aspect of why you didn't like the movie, I'm going to copy and paste those over and double the sequence of how bad it is. So everything that Angie has said, I'm going to double that. Mm-hmm. And that's really the best way to handle it, because you hit the nail on the head multiple times with just the lack of direction, the bad CGI, the bad storytelling, the bad, you know, introduction of what this movie was. It was just... For those of you who watch NASCAR, this is the wreck at the end of the race. You know? But the thing is, there's no winner. Everybody wrecks out before the line. So we have 200 laps. We run the whole race and everybody fucking crashes and not one person crosses the line. So what the fuck do we sit here for 4 hours for? Because we have accomplished nothing. Umma is still haunting Amanda. Chris has left.
Well, I don't know if she's haunting her, but she's definitely still there.
Well, haunting or still there.
Which is still a problem, because I still don't think just because Amanda gave her peace does not mean she likes her mom. I feel like she still very much dislikes her mom.
She definitely still dislikes her mom. And that's another part that's just unsolved. So, 4 out of 10. I believe that's a wrestling meme as well. I'll give it 4 out of 10. Would not recommend.
I give it an F+.
I'd give it an actual letter. I'd give it a V. For vivaciously fucking stupid. Hey, oh, that's your foot. I thought that was a cat.
No, she's by the door.
Yeah, I do encourage you guys to go watch the movie. As a film director myself, movies are hard to make. Horror movies are hard to make. Suspense movies are hard to make. So, from a filmmaker's perspective, they tried. It was an attempt. Sam Raimi, congratulations, you did something. Sandra Oh, congratulations, you did something, but don't do it again.
If you do a sequel, please do better. I want a good horror film, and you have such a good cast, I feel like, and you can do better.
You know who would be good for the sequel? John
Cena?
Jodie Comer.
You're not gonna throw her in there because yes?
Killing Eve meets Umma.
No.
Villanelle would smoke Umma. She would find a way.
Villanelle would have tea with her. What the fuck are you talking about?
She'd have tea with her and then smoke her.
I don't know, man. I think she'd like her. I think she'd be like, I don't know, man. You're better than my mom. You didn't drop me off at an orphanage.
R.I.P. Ooh, big spoilers for Killing Eve. Ooh. Well, I guess not really, right?
We'll see. Maybe people will care, maybe people won't, but I encourage you to watch Killing Eve.
I encourage you to watch Killing Eve, and I also encourage you to give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and comment in the thoughts if you agree or disagree with us.
Don't try to make me look stupid again, please. If I make mistakes, we are human. All right? Just correct us without sounding rude. That'd be real nice.
Or else you're blocked at CM Punk. Speaking of CM Punk, I guess it's time for our outro. So
nobody cares.
Really, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Cody Rhodes is back.
Cody Rhodes is back. Welcome back, Mr. American Nightmare. You know who else doesn't care? You know who? Vince McFucking-Man. For those of you who watch wrestling out there, the fucking shit show of Monday Night Raw. Unbelievable!
You know what? I'm not going to get into that because that upset me a little bit.
I think the world, the
fans. I had an expectation, especially for our girl Bianca Belair. Who? You know? How dare you? I'll fucking kill you. I wanted her to have more than a promo, but it's not what she got, But anyway, we can talk all things wrestling eventually. But
we will do.
Tonight is not that night.
If you guys want a wrestling edition episode, give this video 5 thumbs up. Just 5. Doesn't have to be anything more than 5. If it's 5, we will give you a wrestling. We will give you Terrormedia meets wrestling, a crossover. We'll give you a one-time only crossover event. 5 likes. Okay? Can you guys do that? You should be able to. I mean, you've made it this far. Just click the fucking like button. All right? What are you crying about?
Oh, I think she wants to leave.
Oh. So do all the wrestling fans after watching Monday Night Raw. Until next time.
Hope you tune in. Bye.
I want you to listen to me.